One of the biggest things that decides how much you will improve in your tennis is the quality of your practice. And there is one practice mistake that I see players make that holds more players back than anything else. In this video, I'm going to explain what it is, so hopefully you find it helpful, and if you do, give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel before, it's always greatly appreciated if you could do that as well. So the mistake that I'm talking about is focusing too much on the result of the shot, so where the ball lands, instead of focusing on the technical element that you're trying to correct. And I see the vast majority of coaches making this mistake as well. I see coaches feeding players the ball, the player hits the ball in, they go, yes, good shot, and the player misses their shot and they go, no, that's not correct. If you want to improve your technique, you have to follow kind of certain principles based on how our brain and how our body learns skills. And what it comes down to is you have to identify the underlying problem. So whatever it is you identify, maybe you're not preparing soon enough, so you're focusing on early preparation. Maybe you're setting up too close to the ball, so you're focusing on that. Maybe you are hitting the ball late, so you need to focus on starting your swing sooner. Maybe you need to watch the ball through to contact, so you're focusing on that. Whatever the thing that you've identified, that's what you have to focus on, and then that's what you have to evaluate your performance on. So if I'm working on my forehand and I have identified that I want to set up further away from the ball, and you'll hear me use this one a lot because the vast majority of players get too close to the ball, so I say it over and over again in every single video because I find most coaches aren't talking about this either, but I'm going to go off on a rant if I get into it. So spacing, if you've identified you need to set up further away from the ball, I then hit my shot and go boom. Did I set up the right distance from the ball? And it's binary. The answer is yes or no. I was either too close to the ball or I set up the right distance from the ball. It does not matter whether that ball flies over the back fence, hits the court before the net. It doesn't matter what happens. The thing that you've got to evaluate yourself on is how far you were away from the ball, because you've identified that that's the thing that you need to improve. So as you start to work on that, it's going to take care of the result. And it works the other way as well. If I have identified that the spacing is the thing that I need to fix, and I come up to the ball and I do this, and I set up like this far away from the ball, and I happen to slap an amazing winner into the corner, I have to have the mental discipline to go, that wasn't what I was trying to achieve. You know, in a match situation, I'm going to go, yes, I hit a winner, I've won the point. But in terms of improving and developing your technique, you can't allow yourself to do that. You have to go, okay, no, we need to be further away from the ball. That's what we're thinking about. And then you work on that the next time. And kind of along with this goes changing the boundaries, changing the parameters. If you've decided that you're working on the spacing or whatever else it is that you're working on, and you hit your shot and you then get correct spacing, your response to yourself has to be, yes, good job, Richard. You set up the right distance from the ball. I then can't go, oh man, Richard, you suck because you lifted your head at the last moment. No. I might have lifted my head at the last moment, but I wasn't working on that in the first place. I'm working on the spacing, so that is the only thing I'm allowed to evaluate myself on, and I have to do that well thousands of times until it becomes a habit. And then once I've fixed that thing that I've identified on, whatever it is, then I can move on to the next thing. So this is the number one mistake that I see from players and unfortunately from coaches. So you've got to get out there on court, notice your next practice session. Do you make this mistake? Are you overly focused on where the ball is going the whole time, for at the expense of focusing on the thing that you're working on? Or are you the sort of player that's constantly changing the boundaries and you're complaining, you're criticizing yourself for every tiny little thing that you do wrong instead of focusing on one thing? And obviously the solution to this one is really simple. Be more disciplined during your practice, understand the process, and demand of yourself that you do it. Now, because you made it through the end of a video where I'm ranting and talking about the importance of practice and motor learning theory, it tells me that you're very serious about actually improving your game. In which case, I would like to invite you to a free 5-day Neuro tennis challenge that I'm holding soon. This is a 5-day event where I'm going to be teaching you how to use brain-based training to improve the quality of your practice, to kind of develop new habits with your technique, and how to use brain-based training to improve your vision, your balance and coordination, to raise your skill level, because really the key to becoming a higher level level player is developing greater tennis athleticism. So we're going to be talking about the important parts of that. So I'll place a link to this free challenge down in the description, or you can go to neurotennis.net/challenge to learn more and register. Okay, hopefully you found this video helpful. Like I said at the start, if you did, always helps me out if you give me a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Any questions or comments, leave them down below. Otherwise, get out there, practice, make sure that you're practicing in the right way, and I'll catch you next time.